an MS technique. So basically this is going to be the general overall picture to capture the whole orchestra. It'll also capture a bit of the crowd when there's applause and everything. So those are two very, very nice microphones. Those are two vintage U87 Neumanns, both 70s. So those are cream of the crop microphones. So very important, the setup on them, vital. I do this job for the glam. It's fine, our first two microphones are on and working, so we are very happy about this. This is good news. There, right there. This is pretty particular. This is a French stereo technique that was developed to simulate sort of the human head and where the ears are positioned. Of course, it's a bit unnatural because we're going to stick it way up there and who's listening from there, but anyway, it sounds really good. It sounds really good. Go up to the channel list and just check for me. I think this is 5 and 6. Run it wherever's or directly back. Okay. And let me just check what channel listing this should be. That's working. Very happy about that. Fantastic. So basically, just a bit of a walkthrough what we're doing here with the mics today. Simoné and myself have just taken these two beautiful Neumanns off of the grand piano. That is a Steinway D. We'll go and visit that one now. That is a pretty much a cream of the crop grand piano. Doesn't really get better than that. So we wanted the best of the best mics on there. I went with a Neumann U87 AI on the treble side and U89I on the bass side. So basically just a space spare between the two, and it captured it beautifully. They're in omnidirectional pattern. So that's those two. We'll start with them, and then if you follow me this way, we have here is my little cheese grater friend. This is a little ITX PC I've actually very recently put together. Very, very powerful machine. So I checked the full usage while we were recording at 96K, and it was like drifting around between 0.5% and 1% of CPU usage. So we like that. EKD Online, we bought it from them. Anyway, but yeah, so that's my recording setup. We've got two interfaces here. They're in ADAT, so basically the primary interface, the Focusrite, is the master interface, and the Arturia audio fuse is a friend of mine, and this is the slave of the two, and we're sort of splitting the channels between the two because we've got so many. We've got a channel count. It's not that many, but it's 11 mics in total, so we needed to split it between two audio interfaces. And we're running into Pro Tools here. Basically we're recording, like I said, at 96K. What are the details? 96K 24-bit. Yeah, that's pretty much that. So yeah, this is we've been doing more and more sort of orchestral recordings this year. This is probably the nicest one we've done. I mean, the other one was an opera, but it was a little bit like... Edit that out. It was a really nice opera. Everyone sang very well. All the basic mics are basic mics, but I'm very satisfied with that setup. But there's one last tricky setup I want to try, and that's a stereo pair of microphones at the back, at the top there. So basically, now that the basic setup is done, we're going to aim to try and do two stereo mics right up there in the center, and that will give us a very nice overall sound from the audience perspective up there. So it sounds really, really sweet. I went up there, it sounds awesome. So that's what we're hoping for. I'm experienced enough to know that I should always be checking that we're lining it up with the right end, because I've done this in my earlier days where this end happens to, after I've run like this, to be on the wrong end of the mic, so then all that is for naught. Yes. Okay, so let me quickly check. This one must go this way. Yeah. Better. Now for the moment of truth. I don't know if I'm going to do the effort of running the other one, only to get halfway and be like, that's it now. Yeah. And still we haven't finished the setup. Oh, brilliant. Of course we have a clip. You don't have like a tool on you or something, hey? My word, you're hired. So, otherwise I was gonna have to run all the way back. Thank you very much, Jesse. That was incredible. What a save. So basically, this is the final stereo pair that I'm setting up here. So this is what we call a mid-side setup. So basically, it's a cardioid microphone. For the nerds out there, it's a cardioid microphone. And we happen to have a Neumann TLM 103 with us today, which is a very nice microphone. Not quite as nice as the vintage U87s we have there, the U89 as well, the Mytek C5s, the KM 184s. We've got royalty today. But still a very, very nice microphone. So that will be the mid microphone. And then for the side microphone, we have a Rode NTR, which is a brilliant, really nice, dark sounding ribbon mic. So yes, this is a nice matte black. I saw this one. These are classy musicians.
Musicians? Are we talking about the same people? Yeah, I do love musicians, of course. I just have worked with them and played with them a lot.
Setting up the ribbon microphone now. We're going to try and set it up as foolproof as possible. We wouldn't want this little microphone to tip over there and fall down. This won't be good. This mic we need to be very, very careful with. Very, very careful with.
So I'll smack someone with that.
Yes, thank you so much. I'd be so appreciative of that.
Sure.
Yeah, these are capturing a very nice sound from this perspective. Yeah. It's been a huge success so far. We had a little oopsie at the top there, the mics that I've very carefully placed. Someone went and grabbed. I just want to see what this is. Luckily, the mic didn't fall on anything or break anything. Sounds still good. No scratches on that mic. That mic alone is like 30k new, and that's like the budget mic of the series. What do you think is going to happen? Cable's going to be too short.
Is it really?
It really is. But it's overcomeable. That bit of kit's very expensive. We wouldn't want to knock it now, would we? Sorry. Oh, that's nice. We've got lines on everything, everything's working. It's gonna be a little...
This guy was barely sleeping.
I don't sleep, my bro.
I had to...
See, that's actually why I got you, yeah, it's your chilled energy. I don't even know if my phantom power is gonna get that far. That's now. It's quick. You can imagine the pack-up session is going to be delightful. Such a good time, and now towards the end we're starting to have people start coming. It's going to be over. Now I can't get back there to my cables. Let's make it. Leave that one for last if we have. A little bit more. There. Like that. Great. Something like this. That should work. Okay. All right, so here we are. Welcome. We're at the Linder Auditorium, one of South Africa's nicest auditoriums, in my humble opinion. And today we're recording the Rand Symphony Orchestra, and we've got Landi Schaap on piano. She is an insane pianist, as we will see. So yeah, we basically had the opportunity to come through and record them on the day of their concert. So it's been a little bit tricky trying to set up mics between all the people. You know, running cables is a bit of a nightmare. It's all gone smoothly so far. It's a lot of setup. We've been at it for about 3-4 hours now, I'd say. So it's a lot of work, but it's super exciting. It's so cool to be able to do this. Such a privilege to be able to record such phenomenal musicians. So yeah, let me walk you through a bit of our setup here. Righty-ho, so here we have what we call our mid-side pair. It's a stereo technique that's supposed to capture basically the sides as well as the center. So it's a very specific setup, and what we're running with here is basically two vintage U87s, Neumann U87s from the 70s, both of them. The one's a 73, the one's a 76. To those who know these microphones, you know this is cream of the crop. It doesn't really get much better than that. And we've got them perched a bit on the table here, just to get a little bit of additional height. So that's basically our first mic pair, and this is generally to capture the entire orchestra along with the grand piano as well. So it captures a picture of everything. And based, you know, when it comes time to mixing, I will use these two as my main sort of my main mic set, and then I'll just color with the other microphones basically. So that's those two there. And right in front of us here, we've got the glorious Steinway D, which is just, yeah, like I said, cream of the crop piano. We had Landi on it playing. She is, I haven't heard a pianist like that, to be very, very honest. And I've recorded a few pianists at this point. Anyway, so then we move on to the next very important stereo pair there at the top there. That's called an ORTF. It's a French, it was developed by the French, a French broadcaster. And basically it's supposed to simulate roughly sort of the human, how humans hear. Now it might sound a little weird because we've got the mics all the way up there, but it does actually capture a very, very nice, once again, general perspective on the orchestra. I wanted it a little bit away from the piano because we had dedicated mics on the piano, so we wanted a little bit more of a picture from the rest of the orchestra. So I'll use that to reinforce the rest of the orchestra really. There, yeah. Okay, so next we have just basically three spot mics. So these are once again just to sort of, they're not the primary microphones, they're just there to sort of fill in the gaps basically. So, you know, those mics are now a little bit distant from these players here. So I'd want to use these microphones here to just fill in those little bits there. So these are Neumann KM184s, really, really nice microphones, a nice detail. I've got one on this side, one on that side. And then in the center, what I like to do occasionally is I like to just sort of have one of these. This is an AKG C414. This is the classic version, the silver version. I believe that's an 80s version of the mic. And this one is basically also just used to fill in the center. If I need a little bit more of a center, a little bit more of just a bit of low end, a mic that I can use to boost the low end a little bit, and just to give a general nice center image, I'll use this microphone. It also fills in a bit for the instruments around here, acts as a spot mic, but it then also acts as a mic that can fill in the low end a little bit. For me personally, that's what I like to do with it. So very nice microphone for that. It's an omnidirectional pattern at the moment, so it's capturing all the way around. There's the other spot mic, as mentioned, so that's the other KM184, and it's just filling in on that side as well, but by no means a primary microphone. So that's about that. And then at the back there, at the top, we've got our last stereo pair. That's another MS stereo pair. And basically that's just going to capture a lot more of sort of the audience's perspective. And you're going to get a really nice room sound. The Linder sounds amazing. The acoustics in here are phenomenal. It's a very, very well treated room. The right balance of sort of deadness and a little bit more of a lively sound as well. So a very nice combination. So those microphones at the back there, that MS really picks up a very nice image from that perspective. So that will give you more body. That will give you a bit of a rounder sound, not as much high end. And that, I believe, is a Neumann TLM 103 and a Rode NTR that we have there for that MS configuration. So they sound great. They sound truly, truly awesome. So yeah, that's about it.